we've been very lucky. We have been joined by the CEO of MTCB. It is Medical Transcription Billing Corporation, and we've been joined by the CEO. Yes, yeah. And we've been joined by Mr. Mahmud Haq. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Thank you so much for your patience.
With all this positive vibes going on, I feel good today.
Great, that's what we try to do in the morning.
Okay, so just to get started, what brings you to Pakistan? I think that's the first question I would love to ask.
Okay, we have an office in Islamabad, Rawalpindi, and we have an office in Bagh. We are an American company out of New Jersey, US. We started in 1999 over there. In 2002, we started our first office as part of PAFWA, Pakistan Air Force Women's Association.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when I left the country in 1979, I was in Air Force as a cadet. So I had connections in the Air Force, and when we thought of starting the company in 2002, PAFWA was very kind on us, and they gave us space within the Air headquarters. So we started the company, and that's why it is woman-centric. It was woman-centric at that time because the goal was to provide employment opportunities for the Pakistan Women's Association people. So that's where we started in 2002 in E9 over here at Islamabad. In 2006, we became too big for being part of the base, so we moved out, and now we're in Islamabad, in Rawalpindi.
That's great. So initially you started to provide opportunities for the women of Pakistan to empower them as well. But now you've reached a point where you're catering the 60% population of Pakistan.
Right.
So how was this journey?
When we moved out of E9, actually within E9 we started, the morning shift was all for female, and then evening and night was for guys. They're all youngsters. Our average age will be 23, 24, and as we were talking about, Shahzad, it could be seen as a vocational training after your bachelor's. Think of it as a military academy type of a mindset that you're coming out of school. This is your first job. It's a tedious job. You start with data entry, looking at the bills, getting the work done. For a couple of years, we train them. They learn the corporate structure, how to behave, how to act, and grooming basically. And we expect 2-3 years for a billing executive. We call them account managers to work on the accounts.
Excellent.
Okay, but other than that, there's one more thing which I need to ask, and that is, now because motive does really matter.
Right.
Now, since this company is actually based in US as well, right? And you're over here in Pakistan, and since it's all about data entering, and it's quite a lot of tedious work as well. So is it what is the motive behind? Is it really because of the fact that you wanted our youth to be empowered, or was it because you wanted to cut costs and all of these data entering services over there in US might be very expensive?
Exactly.
Today we are talking about opportunities for the youngsters of Pakistan as well, and that too provided by people who are Pakistanis, but they operate across the borders, and now they come back with a mission that they want to empower the youth of Pakistan.
And before the break, we were discussing about how Pakistan, the low costs and the opportunities. So let's continue from that, where we left off.
So I think that in 2002, we looked at the opportunities that whether to go, India goes anywhere else. Pakistan was a choice. Pakistan is cheaper than India, significantly cheaper than India. And now Sri Lanka is coming up because Sri Lanka is relatively cheaper to Pakistan. But to answer your question, we are staying in Pakistan. We are growing in Pakistan, even though we are going to have a small office, or we have a small office that came to us as part of an acquisition. We didn't start the office, but we have about 100 people in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is cheaper than Pakistan by 30%. But this is where we are.
That's really important. So now, just because obviously we're going to ask the question. So now the thing is, it was cheaper. So if that's beneficial for the company, that's beneficial for certain economies there. Yes, you're bringing in work and you're giving opportunities at a time when the world was completely turning its back on Pakistan. But without taking advantage of the people here, how did they benefit by joining a company that was so cheap for the Americans? were people getting the right salaries? Were they given the right holidays and leaves and rights?
Right. Perfect question. And I'll just give you a couple of quick examples what we are providing for the employees, and then we'll get into some other discussions.
Yeah.
At MTBC, which you should really visit whenever you get a chance. It's right on Murray Road. We have I'll just list some of the things, and we can pick up on any of those that you want to discuss. We have a gym on the facility.
Okay.
We have a beauty parlor for the ladies.
Okay, great.
We have a tailor shop that we give one suit per month for every employee type arrangement. We have I mentioned gym, daycare for the ladies. We have a dental facility. We have a medical facility. We have barber shop.
Okay.
And the best of all is that we have a 24-hour cafeteria, but then we have a food store.
Okay.
And what the food store basically is a grocery store. What it does is the basic 10 or 12 items that you need, the rice and all of those things. The company pays 50% of the cost. We decide the cost because the people get pay increases at the beginning of the year. We'll check the prices of those 10, 12 items, and we decide that this costs $500. The company will 500 rupees. The company will pay 250, the employee pays 250 per month. If the price goes to 700, the employee still pays 250.
That's amazing.
Because inflation, because their salary is not being inflated on a monthly basis, so we can absorb the inflation much better than the employees.
Oh yeah, we're very aware of this inflation situation.
And I think the important part, Maha, over here is not only that they can order online from the company store, it gets delivered to their home.
Wonderful.
So they don't need to worry about, and this came about, when there was a sugar shortage and this shortage and that. So we didn't really want the employees to worry about.
That's wonderful. And I feel like your employees in Pakistan have a lot more benefits than if you had employees in America.
Right, there we go.
But other than that, there's one more point which I would love to make over here. That, ladies and gentlemen, for all those people who are entrepreneurs who've got these bigger organizations and they employ thousands of people as well. I mean, as a matter of fact, I think it's a good solution. And it is a good solution because what you do by helping them with all of their groceries or whatever things, they might be involved in, that they might be thinking about. They're more relaxed, your workforce is more relaxed. They know that it's not going to be a problem, and then you get your medical facilities as well. They work with better dedication because over here within our organizations, well, not really but in fact, each and every organization, what happens is that other than the CEO or the president or the chairman, he's the only one who does not really have to bother about his kids going to school or grocery or billing or whatnot. But other than that person within the organization, everybody else has to worry about that. So that's a good business model. But other than that, now I want to come to a point where I want you to figure out that where do you think that we can create more job opportunities for the youth of Pakistan? Because lately, the PMLN government has been able to deliver quite a lot of other good job opportunities. Then there was this internship program by the Prime Minister as well for the youth, and then there were these laptop schemes. But in which areas do you certainly think that we've got more power to probably empower youth?
Well, I think like what we do when employees join us, they see the complete vision where. I'll give you an example. Let's say 100 people from our company are visiting US. So almost every week we have people coming back and forth. So they see that type of opportunities, and it's 100% based on their ability. What happens is when they see someone else, that their colleague going to US for a month or 2 months and coming back, that gives them a lot of incentive to do well. I think companies, in terms of opportunities, if they provide opportunities to youth to be broaden their horizon, to go to Sri Lanka, to go to other places, to visit other countries. U.S. Embassy has been very kind on us, with us. They, for last 12, 13 years we have people going there, and thank God we have no incidents of anyone not coming back or overstaying. So they've been extremely
I don't think the environment these days
That's
as well
why
is
they've
something
been
that they would want to
extremely
stay.
right.
No,
Okay.
okay, but this is not what I was asking. But I was asking in which areas over here within Pakistan, in the areas of economy or other different areas or the industry or whatever we're talking about.
Right.
In which areas do you think that there's more capacity for that particular industry to absorb the youngsters of Pakistan and make them work, and then so that we can be on a prosperous path?
Right. So I'll answer it two different
Sure.
ways. One is from, let's say, as an overseas Pakistani. I would ask other overseas Pakistanis, and they could be in small. I don't have an answer that we can create 50,000 jobs, but whether it's in accounting, whether it is in data entry, whether it is in legal work on the back
Wherever,
end,
yeah.
you can start 10, 15, 20 people offices over here. You will get, and this is our experience, extremely dedicated people who will work very hard for you.
Okay.
You just have to make sure that checks and balances are there. Our biggest challenge, Maha, is we love to have 50 other billing companies started in US. We love competition. There's nothing like more people working. The thing that scares us is that if one of them is involved in something illegal or doing, it's going to corrupt the whole image of Pakistan.
One rotten apple.
One rotten apple, and that's where we have to be very important. It's not that, it's just make sure that you're representing Pakistan in the whole US over there. One wrong step by one employee, you will be the headline in
Absolutely.
the newspaper.
So
That's
how do you
what-
keep that check and balance?
we cannot. I mean, there is no government agency that, because it's all based over there. I'll give you one quick
Where's
example.
your HR department then?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
with compliance. It's not, it's more of compliance. HIPAA compliance, you may not be aware of that, like HIPAA. I'll give you one example. About 20 years ago, one person was doing transcription. She got into some dispute with her third-party employer.
All right.
She sent a threatening email to the hospital saying, I have all your patient data. If I don't get paid, I'm going to put that on internet. Let's say it's 20 years
That's
ago.
illegal, right?
It's illegal,
Yeah.
but if you're sitting in Pakistan, who is going to come after you?
That's true.
But what I'm
pretty
saying, Maha, is
Yeah, it's
that
bad.
20 years later, we still hear when you say from Pakistan, oh, that's the same place where that person threatened to put that in the newspaper.
It's amazing how things stick.
This is something that we really need to your question, answer to your question is, medical is very good, legal is very good, accounting is very good, where we can create a small center of excellence where you can employ 50, 100 people, but be very careful.
But even white people need to take it a bit easy. I mean, it's like 20 years ago, man.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. You need to let go, move on.
Right, Shazad, but it's not the white people.
Exactly.
It's your competition could be coming from Philippines that would like to exaggerate that it could be coming from India. Oh, you don't want to
Okay,
go.
but the thing is, no, and that's absolutely fine. Like, I understand your point. There are certain behaviors and etiquette, and
Right.
one should do in a professional environment.
Right.
But now the thing is, how that then falls upon the company to vet their employees beforehand, correct?
Oh, I'm talking about the whole company. If you're starting a small 2, 3, 4, 5 people, it could be the owner who doesn't have the ethics. Forget about the employees. This was a one-person company that was doing transcription. So it's not the employees. Absolutely. The bigger you get, let's say as a NASDAQ listed company,
Yeah.
we have incredible amount of compliance that we need to worry about.
Yeah.
The SEC, Security and Exchange Commission. That's why we use Deloitte and over here, other major names. We need to make sure that we.
Very nice. But one last thing very quickly, and
Yeah,
it
but
is not
run out of
relevant,
time.
and it is not relevant to what we were talking about, but for all those people who frequently travel to US, because medical services over there are very expensive,
Right.
and I've been through that as well. So
Yeah?
once my daughter's nose started bleeding and we took her to hospital and they took out $1,400 from my bank as well.
Wow.
So that was very expensive. Do you think that for all those people who do not have insurance and are traveling to US, do you have any good solution in terms of medical facilities for them?
No, it's very, very easy to buy traveler's insurance.
Yeah.
And that's what you should really.
Okay.
And
Okay, so traveler's insurance, ladies and
traveler's
gentlemen.
insurance, but there's always, there's a set of people who know the game. They will go to the hospital and get the services and won't pay for it. And because you are overseas, there's not much that could be done. But I think it's much better to get a traveler's insurance.
Because the next time if you're going to go, I think the receipt is just attached to your passport or the visa or the visa number, so the immigration won't let you in unless you pay that amount.
Right.
Okay, amazing. So she's
So always
not
pay
saying-
that amount. Yeah.
Okay, something bad happened. No, I'm kidding. But thank you so much for your
But
time. It's been an
thank
absolute
you.
pleasure having you on the show to discuss
Perfect.
this.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for having us.